Good morning, Scorpios.
Blessed morning.
Yeah, so we are here to finish the last 5 signs that we owe these crazy green reads to.
Yes.
And I want to say that before we even got started this morning, my beautiful doo-doo stays here, said some of the nicest things that were completely unexpected. Stace and I are Gen X, and our Gen X men tend to come from much harder spaces, and we know where that flow comes from. We know, who our parents are, and or were. If we still have them, those of us that still have them on this side understand. Stace and I both have lost our biological parents. I lost mine very young. As did Stace, and he was subsequently adopted by a white couple. So, but in our generation, and so we understand where our generation are coming from. But I have to say, as our men come online, the beautiful things that are in our guys' hearts that are coming out as they do the 5s.
It's hard work.
Yeah, it's very hard work, but I have to say it's really been worth it in my mind because, it's kind of one of the downloads. I received several yesterday, and one of the downloads and one of the things we get asked to talk about, I get asked to talk from how I've been able to move, that male dominated, masculine kind of thinking into much softer female places, and there's the light going off again. You got it. I think it's just coming online in just really interesting ways for us. One of the things that we know to be true is that our females went first. Our men are starting to come right behind our women, and so I'm being asked to, those who really want those relationships and really and truly want those resets, because we know that that's what happens when you go through an awakening, is oftentimes you find, oh my gosh, I outgrew my partner somehow in the spaces that I'm in, and I'm being asked to just do something completely new and different that I wouldn't have expected. I mean, what the heck? It's going to look unique for every individual, but I will say it's one of the things that I really and truly appreciate about my beautiful Stace. Yes. He just said the most beautiful things to me this morning, and as he was saying them to me, the light that Spirit uses to go off and show true, correct, true, was just going off the whole time he was saying it. It was like, yep, that's true too. And so I am really enjoying the journey. Even when we get into the hard spaces, the 5s that we're asked to do with our collective, I'm really enjoying doing that and learning and growing even more. And I don't know about you, Stace, but I'm loving it.
The 5s have whooped my ass, but they whooped me into shape to be a better person, a better lover. I love her, I adore her with all my being, and I appreciate her every day.
Yeah.
And I've learned from her. We've learned to be more open to not this, what word am I looking for? This world that we live in, but I'm more thankful, and my eyes are wide open. My heart is it's not stone anymore. I've given her my heart, my everything, my being. She is my energy, my twin energy, and I love her for it, and I'm thankful every day for her.
Yeah.
She gives me everything that I need. It's not wanting, but she is everything that I've needed in my life to change myself.
And I think we should clarify, we're not talking about stuff, we're talking about that soul to soul,
Yes.
connection that, both of us have had those issues in the past of, well, you know what, well, if it's not my way, it's the highway. Those were learned patterns and habits, and that's what we're here to do the work on. And so with each other, with one another, and it just looks different for the men. The reason females, guys, came online first is because we had to, those of us that were heavily in the masculine, need to learn and feel for ourselves first and foremost. Well, what are we doing to, move ourselves back into that soft space so that we can explain to our men, listen, here's the way that I feel safe. Here's how, what's going to keep me from being in that running mode all the time. And when you can explain it in just a very, non-threatening way to your partner will, believe it or not, stop and say, I wonder why I didn't think to do that before for my other relationships. And I think that that's where we're going to see a lot of, like, when we pull jealousy on the downline and, people that just don't necessarily understand, it's because you're not quite there yet. But as a collective, many, many, many of us are going to be awakening and doing the hard things with the fives. So, but in the meantime, we've also been asked to start addressing the millennials and the Zeds. Because as we address our patterning and our wounding and we become stronger and stronger and stronger, we are literally making that bridge gap stronger for our youngins. That I think when you awaken, you start understanding exactly, oh, okay, I see the tools that we were missing once upon a time. Here's how we fluxed them in. Those higher level ascenders, because the millennials and the Zeds have just come, whether they understand that as a thing or not, they've come with the ability to ascend a lot faster and a lot higher and a lot quicker. So I love that about them. I really love that about them. And so helping by ensuring that their parentals and their grandparentals can understand what it is that they're talking about and what they're trying to do as the world just kind of goes crazy on the outside. So, for some reason I was asked to discuss that, with Stace and I first thing for you Scorps out there. Sounds like maybe we're going to have some Scorps out there that are really exploring and wondering, what is this all about as they come online? And it's hard work. Ascension work is hard work. It makes you tired, and then you get really hit with all the things. You start paying all the old debts, and I don't mean the money debts, I mean the spiritual, emotional debts that were out there once upon a time. So, all right, well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull Scorpio's 5. We're sorry that you got that. There's obviously, when we get asked to do and say a thing, there's something coming for you, for some Scorps out there that Scorps need to know.
All right, you ready?
All right, for Generation X Scorpios, what do we got?
Oh.
All right, we got some emotions. Surprise, surprise. Scorpio, 5 of Cups is in the upright, so just as a reminder, we've got somebody looking down at 3 Stilt Cups, but they're not seeing what's right there behind them with the 2 Full Cups still. All right, then we're going to ask Ozzy to give us an overarching energy.
The Oz, man.
Oz and the Crazy Greens. If y'all felt that first part wasn't for you, and I tell you what, on the split we got a Tower with the Lovers, so okay. I think we might be definitely talking to the right folks. So I will say Scorpio is my moon rising, and oftentimes people say your moon rising is even stronger than your sun sign, but for me, I don't believe that's true at all. Occasionally I can find something on when I was first awakening and getting all the assistance and started watching tarot. Only occasionally would a Scorp reading be applicable to me. So, and I think that that's because my Scorpio moon is like, a brand new moon. So,
I don't know if you read that.
All right,
The
the
hermit.
hermit. Yep. We've definitely got somebody that is in their emotions and has gone within themselves, okay? And so we're going to ask Spirit for this Scorpio why. So I definitely know I'm not in hermit mode. So he doesn't have an ounce of Scorpio in him unless, yeah. Then he'll have a little moon rise or moon energy in him, but we've looked at his birth chart and Scorpio just isn't a...
Thinking that.
Yes. So see, as you can see, awakening does not mean you lose your sense of humor or your sense of who you are. It just means you learn how to make that partner safe. Why do I feel like... Ooh!
Woo!
Throw it. Throw it.
There you go.
Okay, Spirit. You are not looking for anything new, are you, baby? That makes sense. Hermit. You're hermited. So, and what's crossing your line literally right now is temperance. This is somebody that I think may have been in addictions. This is literally what I'm feeling. Has lost some things out there. And temperance is on your cross line, as is this. The way I would read this isn't like something that you're, oh hey, I've got good teammates, I've got a good I see the cups right there, and what I'm seeing is somebody is trying to learn how to temper something, an addiction or something like this about themselves. Maybe we are putting down some things, and in order to do that, it makes perfect sense to me that you're like, I'm in hermit mode. In order to bring on the new, you have to first look at those addictions, and you have to look at them hard. I don't know, with it being cups, it could be alcoholism, it could be drugs, it could be anything like that. And just know that Stace and I, we aren't here to be judging at all. Sometimes I think when we see cheating and things like that, we may sound a little judgy, but it's just because we let those things go a long time ago. So
Judge-free zone.
Yeah, we're a judge-free zone. If you are literally looking at yourself and have hermited yourself, Scorp, and there's that active loss there on the downline, it's because that's the start of the hard work pieces. We understand that. And just know we love you, Scorps, and we love all our people, and we know how hard it can be to look at those fives. Yep. So Spirit says that there is something you're not yet seeing. I'm being told this is futuristic for you because you're in hermit mode right now. Because you're saying, right now it's not for me, okay? What you're not seeing, okay? You've got the blindfolds on at the moment, which would make sense because you're literally trying to pull out of an addiction, is you are the Queen of Cups, and or you're going to be getting a Queen of Cups when the hard work is done. I'm hearing the song, this is a Rob, say you'll be with me when the heartache ends. What is that song? I think it's called When the Heartache Ends. Rob Thomas. Spirit's with you right now, but Spirit wants you to know when the heartache ends, when you've done the hard work inside, and started to change those, guess what? Exactly. Now I understand why I was told to talk about this with Scorps today, so that you know. That's how you start. That's how you get woken up spiritually. So right now, Eight of Swords is crossing, okay? It's crossing you on your energy line. This person's doing some work. Yes. Yep, Hierophant. This is somebody that's probably been in the traditional matrixy type stuff. Could be a military member, could be somebody that's heavily involved in church, like the traditional religions. And again, we do not judge our traditional religion folk. We understand, because we're bridge gap. we understand why that means something so much to people, okay? And we believe in Jesus. We believe, we know Jesus was an ascended master. So that could understand very well. Yeshua was an ascended master. Anything else? Maybe in and out. Yeah. Very true. So this is just awakening. We are literally getting fresh people exactly as we were told. We know our people from our generation are coming online, and this is something I want, if this crosses for the youngers, understand that many from our generation, as they start doing the inner works, as they start doing their fives, our generation are going to find that exactly what Stace and I found, that we have, not just for ourselves in our own lifetime, but generationally speaking, when we're cutting things off, Spirit says to remind those out there, the younger ones that like to pick and pan and say nasty things. Our entire generation was a generation whose parents were busy absorbing dark things from what was going on in World War II. And subsequently, as we come online and learn about ourselves and start doing those fives and getting ourselves the help, the bulk of us are going to find that we have what's called complex PTSD diagnosis, meaning we have to pull back many different layers of things. You can't have an entire generation, Spirit is saying, you cannot have an entire generation of children who, half of us, half the time, we had to go find neighbors who were kind enough to feed us, to let us shower, to let us have our needs met, because our parents would literally be like, if you're anywhere near here, we were either being beaten, SA'd, having adult things that our parents should have handled for themselves thrust upon us. We raised ourselves, we raised our siblings, we raised each other. We were kicked out of our houses for pretty much whole entire days. That hose water thing is like, people are being very, very, very serious when they say that to you. That, we would have freaking not had any water if we didn't learn how to turn on a hose. Half of us had to go down and find somebody else who cared enough about us to sit down with us, from the elderly silent generation. Our grandparents were the World War II. People refer to them as the greatest generation, but they were also a very silent generation. They did not correct our parents when they saw that abuse going on. In fact, a lot of them contributed to it. So,
nuclear family.
Yes, it was very, very, very hard situation for us to be raised in. And those of us that were smart enough to move away from our kids, to not want our kids to see our habits, so that they couldn't have their habits. It's one of the hardest things we think that the younger generation struggles with understanding about us. And so if you are a young one, a millennial or a Z, and you come across this, we ask that it's part of, Spirit is asking me to say it's part of what's missing for the younger generation, is that ascension piece without the ability to understand or put themselves in somebody else's shoes. In other words, it has something to do with perspective. Perspective taking is harder for the young ones. That doesn't mean you don't have the ability, it's just harder for you to take that perspective on behalf of somebody else. And so that's what Spirit is trying to help the youngers understand, is that in order to really and truly do a true ascension, you must be able to perspective take for your parents, your grandparents, even your great-grandparents. So the nonsense things that get put out, oh yeah, I know, and here we've got an angel wing floating right in front of us. Thank you, they're saying. It's because we're here to help people ascend, to rise. You youngers are supposed to be rising quickly, but they're saying the piece that you keep missing is that You can't just sit there and say, well, I hate so-and-so from this generation, F my parents, F my grandparents. Part of your own ascension process includes, did I look at that from both perspectives? Did I look at what was impacting my parents? So, Scorpio is getting, there is something so deep about whoever these Scorpios are that Spirit just wants people to know and begin to understand your part of it so that you can be helped to rise even more. Oh, I love this. Oh, goodness. And we love you, Scorp. We do. Whoever this is that is really just now coming online and looking at this, know that you are very beloved. Very beloved, okay? All right, let's see if we can get a little more kipperish, just to tell us just a little bit more about this. I think when this Scorpio has done the works, not only are they going to see that they for themselves are deeply, deeply, deeply loving, compassionate, and kind, they're going to find somebody, I think. This is what I believe. Yeah. Spirit's saying, yep, they sure will. Abundance. Okay? Abundance is coming for this person. We put down old habits. We start learning how to make money in new kind of ways. Right now, somebody's trying to steal some of their abundance. Wow, that's interesting. So you may have somebody near you, Scorpio, that's actually trying to take money from you, and while you are in a weakened state, Spirit wants to bring that to your attention. But also, as you come online, Spirit is saying that that's going to go into the reverse because you're going to be able to see patterns, habits, things like that very clearly. Ooh, that's so interesting. Yep, right there. Okay. This may also be female. Spirits, are you getting out of a karmic male relationship, or are you the karmic male? I'm being asked that actually goes both ways. That's going to be cut. This is for a female Scorp. Spirit is saying this is actually for a female Scorp who is also going through releasing addictions. Know that somebody is trying to meddle around with your money. It's some karmic male, but Spirit is ending that. And part of that, part of your awakening is that you're going to be able to see that clearly. You're going to be able to see that clearly. And bear in mind, karmic can be our kids, it can be our grandkids, it can be whoever's trying to meddle around in your money. You're going to have victory and success. This Scorp is going to do this. So you are literally doing the work, Scorp. And Spirit says you're going to have success. And I take the success with, you're going to see all of these things very, very, very clearly, because that's a part of when we awaken, that's a part of it. We get to see patterns that we weren't able to necessarily see before. Like, wait a minute, why do I just keep giving this person access to my money or my house or my, you know what I mean? Oh, this Scorp is doing it. They're getting rid of their patterns, their habits, nothing else. So, and actually what I hear Spirit saying at the moment is that's quite enough, because they are literally at the start. But just know you are going to actually be able to see this very, very, very clearly as those things, the old habits and addictions and patterns for you are made, you set yourself up right. So you're going to see who this is that's doing this to you. So this is a karmic male. Spirit says you will have victory, and they're going to help you put it into this is FA energy, basically. Anybody fuck around with somebody else's money, their time, their attention, their heart, their anything, that gets put to bed for people who are doing the works and coming up out of old patterns and addictions and stuff. And so, and I take it that somebody is really struggling with either drug or alcohol addictions here that they are literally putting to bed for themselves. So one of these Scorps out there is a female. But I feel male energy here too, so that's so interesting. And you know what? As we know, these are your sacred woundings. As we know, tarot doesn't really talk to us just through this being a male. This could be a male-to-male relationship. It could be a male-to-female. It could be a female-to-female. And we don't judge. We welcome all, as Spirit knows. Okay, so here is what is happening to you, Scorpio, so that you know. Here's what you're healing. Yep. Attachment wounding. Okay, attachment wounding. That's going to go away. Appears will show up as difficulty forming secure, trusting relationships or a fear of abandonment and rejection. They may manifest as emotional distance, clinginess, codependency, or an inability to fully open up and connect with others due to past experiences of neglect or inconsistent care. What did I just say? Oh, there's a reason why, Spirit, there is some Scorpio really doing the 5 out there. And that's exactly why I was asked to talk to people about what it was like for our childhood. This is one of the big ones that I had to deal with and address back in my, I want to say, didn't really get into it, like my 20s just were an absolute nightmare mess. By the time I was in my 30s, or right before my 30s, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? And exactly what I said, Spirit's saying exactly what you said. As we come up and we end addictions for ourselves, whether it be relationship, you know, whoever this Scorp is appears to be, they've been self-numbing basically to avoid what they needed to do. And this is something that's going to be addressed for you, okay? And that makes sense for us. That's a huge piece of complex PTSD. Yes, like itchy. And then needing to heal from your ego dissolution will show up as just so you see that's what I pulled, will show up as a shift in your sense of self, leaving identity feeling unstable or unfamiliar. Anytime you come into ascension, this is gonna hit you hard as you are waking up, Scorp. Okay? It may cause confusion about your purpose and difficulty rebuilding a grounded sense of who you are, often requiring time. Okay? It can feel like standing in unfamiliar territory without a map, unsure which parts of yourself are still true and or safe to trust. When we ascend, the thing that Spirit just starts going right after for you is that ego and that ability to understand, you know what? Am I throwing this up out of protection that I no longer need? All of these things are going to change. All of these things, because you're going to be able to see patterns and you're going to be like, am I letting somebody gaslight me here? And I just keep giving them resources because they're gaslighting me. That comes to an end. This Scorp, that's ending. This Scorp, as you're awakening, you're going to see all those patterns, and Spirit is going to say, there's going to be a big old cut line. Oh,
I saw that.
Spirit is saying, yes, yes, yes. Our light is going off. Yes, yes, yes for this Scorpio. That is freaking amazing. I am happy for this Scorp. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this. Spirit says, you know, they've really been hit with a lot. But this is just a Stace and I thing. We know because we're awakened and because we have been able to really start putting down those egos and seeing what's out there and looking at patterns. Anytime you awaken, you will start seeing the patterns left and right. You'll be like, oh yeah, no, I ain't doing that. So this is just an awareness piece of the Illuminati. We think that governments are doing these things very openly now. Oh, right off top. Anchoring your light. There's a reason you're being awoken, Scorp. You're an anchored light, okay? Hear what that is. No system, no elite agenda, no chaos can dim the radiance you carry within. Shine, even when the world demands that you hide. That's exactly what this Scorp is coming into. This is an awakening Scorp. Okay? All of this is going away. Wherever you're at, and one of the things they might find is exactly what I found as I was going through my awakening. I just kept getting strongly pulled into, I've got to go into where there are people that don't want to awaken, because you become that anchor point for others. Oh, I love this for Scorp. Okay, baby, do you have a card that you're feeling for Scorp?
I don't know. That one's really like illuminating
Really?
for
Well,
some. I don't know
that's
why.
That's why you command and control that side, baby.
Here you go. This is what it looks
This
like.
Scorp is going to really, this is a very strong Scorp. Wow. Wait till they change. Oh my gosh.
Let me shuffle these up.
We wish you all the best with your journey. This is going to be a very, very, very strong light worker coming online. They're literally, as we speak, Spirit says as we speak, it's just, they're going through the not so part of it. Ascensions are hard. They make your body feel tired, and if you are literally kicking things out of your body at the moment, and Spirit's forcing all that with you, we know the first part of it is like, oh God, why? You're asking God, you're asking universe, you're asking Spirit, how, what?
I feel like right now, body of water or something.
Mm-hmm. Somebody near water, somebody very near water. This might be somebody on one of the coastal lines, or collectives,
Big lake or something.
or big lake, near a big lake. Okay, maybe somebody.
Body of water. And then
If you're
again,
near water,
then again, our bodies are 70% water.
yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go.
All right. All right. Spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. Yep. You are clearing out your system, beautiful. Beautiful woman, beautiful man, beautiful people, folk. It doesn't matter. We know it's more than one Scorp out there. Clean your room. That's the message. No. Discipline. They're saying reset, action. You are resetting. You are awakening. You've got this, Scorpio. Oh my gosh, I love this for Scorpio.
Wow. Go ahead, baby.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and roll you some die to see if the numbers are resonating with whoever is doing this hard work. You're at the start of it, but you know, woo, when the heartache ends, you're gonna love what you see in the mirror, Scorp. All right, we have somebody with this is the other side, babe. It's actually no, I'm sorry. Pardon. Why do I? Oh, it's Cancer. There's somebody with Cancer energy, or there's an attachment to Cancer energy. Okay. And then, yes. No, that's Mercury. Communication and your mental health, your mentality. Okay? Pay attention to the communication that you're getting. We have somebody who may resonate. This might be somebody born in 71 or 72. It also might be somebody born in 61. Somebody that's 51 years old or 57, I'm being told, is how I'm reading these. So this is definitely somebody from our generation that is just like, bleh. On your yoga roll ball, exercise is going to be very, very, very important to you, and as a part of your journey, because as you're kicking the old stuff out of your body, you're going to start feeling, again, those ascension pieces are really hard, but exercise, even if it's just yoga, walking, reconnect and regrounding yourself always comes through exercise. And exercise allows all those things that you've been numbing, that you think make you feel good, endorphins, oxytocin, all of that stuff comes back naturally for you through exercise, okay? Ooh, that's so good. All right, for the Scorp. All right, just Trinky charms for whoever this is, and then we will wrap this up. We were told to tell you a lot, Scorp. That's because you're going through a lot. Spirit wants you to hear what you need to hear. I feel like this is a combo of both male and female. We've got some Scorpio men out there doing it, and some Scorpio females out there doing it. Yes. So right now your tree of life is exactly where you're at on the energy. You've had to knock some things down, some relationship. You've lost some relationships, haven't you? That will happen as you're resetting. And as you come back online, I'm being told to tell you that's gonna come right back up. Because right now what you're doing, you're looking at the root of the problem, the root of the matter, okay? And you need to be able to see that clearly in order, yes. You need to be able to see that clearly, okay? All right, we have a K that's in reverse. Somebody out there may have a K. And then also I'm being told this is somebody in their 50s. So I was reading those numbers correctly. This is a Gen Xer coming online. You don't feel peace at the moment. I'm being asked to say that that's because as you do the awakening symptoms, as you're ascending, you're going to see, and that's going to get pulled to the side, but you're going to feel so good. I'm being told you're going to feel so good when you finally let it go. Okay? Oh my gosh, I hope this has helped. Congratulations to this Scorpio for taking the first step, and you're doing the work. It's hard work. We know that. We know that. We're with you. If we get anything else from Spirit, we will let you know.
Yep.
All right, we love you, Scorp. Keep up the great work.
Have a blessed day.